ultimately controls the Senate. But just take a look right now at what that race is like on the ground. As you know, as we've been covering on the show, the polls right now say that the issue Americans care about more than any other when it comes to this election, the issue they're paying more attention to than any other when it comes to deciding who they're going to vote for, the single most important issue to voters this season, this election, it's health care. Well, here's what that looks like in this crucial Senate race in Arizona.
Welcome back, everyone. Republican Senate candidate Martha McSally is now claiming that she is fighting to protect people with pre-existing conditions.
But does that match up with McSally's record in Congress? Our political editor, Dennis Welch, looked at her record.
Dennis, can we please talk about the things that matter to most voters instead of repeating the Arizona Democrat Party press releases?
Less than 2 weeks left in this election, and Martha McSally clearly showing her frustration.
This is ridiculous, honestly. Do you have anything to talk about, like the caravan?
Can we please talk about the caravan? You want to ask me questions about health care? Can we talk about anything else? Don't you want to? How about the caravan? Have you heard about the caravan? The reason reporters were asking Republican Congresswoman Martha McSally about health care in that instance, which frustrated her to no end, the reason they were asking her about that is because her latest ad says she's leading the fight to force insurance companies to cover pre-existing conditions, which is amazing. And so, of course, reporters are asking her about it. I want to look at this in Arizona, but this is happening all over the country. I mean, since we have been focusing on this issue in the campaign for the past couple of days, it was crazy a couple days ago. It's gone absolutely nuts on the Republican side since then. Obamacare, you may recall, is what forced insurance companies to guarantee coverage for people who have pre-existing conditions. Right? Because of Obamacare. That's why insurance companies now can't turn you down for coverage because you've got a pre-existing condition. And they can't charge you more money if you've got a pre-existing condition. That's Obamacare. That's what Obamacare did. That's why that exists. Republicans in Congress have voted at least 70 times to kill that. The top Senate Republican, Mitch McConnell, says, yeah, in the Senate, they'll do it again if Republicans are able to hold on to the Senate. 20 Republican-led states right now are suing to kill Obamacare, including specifically that part that makes insurance cover pre-existing conditions. That lawsuit is supported overtly by the Trump administration. And to put the icing on all of it, the Trump administration just this week, just 3 days ago, unilaterally changed the rules set by Obamacare so that now insurance companies will be allowed to turn you down if you have a pre-existing condition. Or they'll be allowed to charge you more because of it. Literally just this week, the Trump administration took that action so that people with pre-existing conditions will no longer be protected. All of which is very, very unpopular with the American people. In an election year where the American people say health care is more important to them than any other thing when it comes to deciding who they're going to vote for. So this is a fundamental political science problem for the Republicans, right? What they're actually doing and what they have been pounding their chests and bragging about doing for years on the most politically salient issue in the country this year is the exact opposite of what the country wants to happen on that issue. The thing they most wanted to be known for years. We will kill Obamacare. We will eradicate Obamacare. The thing they campaigned for most vociferously for years and have bragged about doing since they've been in Congress for years. The thing the Trump administration is not only doing in general, they're doing it this week. That thing, voters don't want it. And it's the thing that is most important to voters this year. And so what do Republicans do about that for this election season? What they've decided to do is just lie about it. They've decided they're just going to run as if they're the Democrats on this issue. The president is doing it with tweets like this. Republicans will totally protect people with pre-existing conditions. Democrats will not. What? He also says stuff like this at his rallies now. Saying this literally in the same week his administration acted unilaterally to take away insurance coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. He's campaigning, say, hey, vote Republican if you don't want that. So it's happening at the national level. Surprise, the president's lying about that thing. But it's also happening in these individual Republican campaigns around the country, too, like with this super hard-fought race involving Martha McSally in Arizona. And in her case, it is making local news anchors basically spit out their coffee because it's just through the looking glass bizarre for a Republican member of Congress like Martha McSally to now be running for Senate as if she is the champion of Obamacare. I mean, her record on this is not a subtle thing. She voted to kill Obamacare and its provisions on pre-existing conditions dozens of times, like literally more than 50 times. Not only did she never peel off from her party on this even once, she has been kind of a crusader about killing Obamacare and its protections on pre-existing conditions. Like, she has crusaded on this in a way that stood out memorably, profanely. Do you remember this one from last year? GOP predicts victory on Obamacare repeal vote. Here's the lead on this one from the Hill newspaper. And again, if Martha McSally is your member of Congress, this is the kind of thing you'd remember. If you're a local news anchor from Martha McSally's district, this is the kind of thing you'd remember. This would kind of stick with you. Quote, Speaker Paul Ryan and his GOP leadership team held what amounted to a pep rally for rank-and-file members in the Capitol basement Thursday morning as they predicted victory. Leaders played the Rocky theme song as lawmakers walked into the meeting. Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy put an image of George Patton on the screen and read inspirational quotes from the general. Congresswoman Martha McSally of Arizona told her colleagues, quote, let's get this effing thing done. Says Martha McSally. And according to other people in the room and multiple reports, she didn't say effing. She said the whole thing. Let's get this, beep, let's get this effing thing done. And by this effing thing, she means let's kill Obamacare. Let's effing kill it. That's Martha McSally. And now she's running for Senate in Arizona like this.
We cannot go back to where we were before Obamacare, where people were one diagnosis away from going bankrupt because they could not get access to health care.
What was the way she put it again? Let's get this effing thing done. Let's effing kill Obamacare. Running as the Senate candidate that Arizona should trust to protect Obamacare. It's just like, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, it'd be one thing if this was just like one issue among every, like if Martha McSally had done this on like light rail, or I mean, I love light rail, don't get me wrong, but or like postage rates or something. Okay, like, all right, this is the thing that more Americans care about than any other in this issue. She's like, vote for me. I stand for exactly the opposite of everything I've ever done in this issue, including where I use the F-bomb in Congress. So with everything else going on in the country, I mean, this is pretty much half the fight right now for these last 2 weeks, for these last 12 days. Republicans are like,